I love Sonic Frontiers, but I'm not gonna lie, there are some things about the game that I wish could improve. And if these things improved, I feel like a sequel would be absolutely amazing. A stellar game. And honestly, not even a sequel. I feel like mods could just change some of these things to make the game an even better experience. The foundation of Sonic Frontiers is extremely solid, and I think no one can really doubt that. And if you do, I don't know. I think Frontiers is solid. I get it if you just don't enjoy it, but the foundation is good enough where people are enjoying the crap out of this game right now. I did my own poll recently. It has almost near 5,000 votes, and I asked, what do you rate Frontiers out of 5? And it was 1 through 5. 50% said 4, 41% said 5, 4% said 3, and 1% said 1. So one guy was like, no, I'm gonna hit a 1 out of 5. Not even a single person touched the 2. Frontiers is being loved, even though the critics didn't give it the craziest scores. But again, in my opinion, the game is not a 9 out of 10, even though that's what it has on Metacritic by the user score. I think the game sits around about an 8 out of 10. But yes, let's get into some things that I would love to change or see mods change. But before we get into that, today's sponsor is BuildBox. BuildBox is a game development software that requires no previous coding or design experience. You guys probably didn't know this, but a lot of games in the top 100 games of the App Store is actually made through BuildBox. With BuildBox, you can easily build, preview, and publish a variety of different game types, such as free runners, card games, shooters, puzzles, etc., and you can make money from them. BuildBox has several cool features that you need to know about. It has Game Wizard, which is an onboarding flow that helps new users to create their own first game quickly and easily. It also has a template library and asset library where you can find several game templates and drag and drop assets with preset animations and logic from these libraries to help speed up your game development. And of course, we have the BuildBox shop. This is a constantly updated asset store with tons of free and premium assets. You'll find everything you need to complete your game, from 2D or 3D assets to UI elements. Getting started on BuildBox is free and super easy. BuildBox has different versions to meet your needs. BuildBox Classic is the easiest version, allows you to make 2D games, and BuildBox 3 allows you to make both 2D and 3D games. You can try them both out for free once you're ready and subscribe to BuildBox Plus and Pro plans to publish your apps to the Play Store or App Store and easily start making money. Make sure that you download BuildBox for free and start making your own game without any knowledge of coding by clicking the link in the description or pinned comment below. Go explore your creativity today. So again, Sonic Frontiers slaps, but there are a few things that I would love to just see improved upon. So first up, let's start with the biggest thing for me personally, which is the combat of Sonic Frontiers. I want to go in depth on the combat one day in a video, but let's just stick to changes for now. So first up on my list is pretty simple. The parry button needs some more refining. I get the developers wanted Frontiers to be a bit more on the accessible side when it comes to combat, but some of us just want some challenge a little bit. So it's very simple. Change the parry from being held forever and allow us to time it more. Hitting those parries in combat will make it way more satisfying when you do. The next thing I would like change with the combat is making Sonic not be able to spam side loop to make rings when he's nearby an enemy. You can simply choose not to do that, but I think it's why that you can in the first place. And yeah, I think it is an important mechanic for getting the goated power boost, which I absolutely love, by the way. But at least when you hit level 99 speed, it doesn't really matter as much because you will always have a power boost and be at max speed. But I think this will improve encounters. Now this might sound like an odd change, but I think at least on hard mode, if you're fighting a guardian, it should create a barrier around the area so the arena is set for you to focus on fighting it. And it makes it more of a challenge so you just don't leave whenever you want. If you lose to it, then it puts you right before the fight. That way it feels more necessary and urgent to fight these bosses. I think these two things alone will improve difficulty and engagement with the combat. Now if I'm being quite honest, one of the things I would love to change is adding meters in the game. I would like Sonic to have a health bar that is replenished with rings, as well as a meter for some of his moves so he can't spam them infinitely. For example, Sonic Boom doesn't stop. It only does when you hit the ground, which is a very slow fall. So honestly, giving that a meter based on rings, or something like a meter that gets gained if you do a certain amount of combo hits, and on top of that is a limited meter that you get access to. Then when you use the move, the meter will drain and go away until you hit a combo number that gives you the meter back. Think of it similar to Phantom Rush, where you have to get a certain amount of hits for it to activate. The only difference is that Phantom Rush is a forced attack, but something like Sonic Boom or Cross Slash can be used as wanted. Or even if people didn't like that idea, you can start fights with a meter, use a Cross Slash or Sonic Boom, but once you use it up, you need to regain it again by hitting the enemy. I think limiting Sonic in this way will make combat way more engaging overall as well. But with these things combined, I think combat will feel even better and polished. And finally, I would love for enemies to scale a bit more to whatever defense and attack Sonic is at, and have them attack more frequently as well. And this will make each Guardian fight feel like a good challenge throughout the whole game. Okay, there's way more I could probably go into, but it deserves a video on its own with the combat. But outside of combat, I would love to see improvements to how cyberspace feels. The controls are very odd and stiff and just make the experience of cyberspace not that great. Even when there are good levels, it doesn't always feel good to play. And actually, there already is a physics improvement mod out by Beats, and I have tried this mod for myself, and cyberspace with it is quite fun. It feels good to control and makes the problem almost non-existent. It also does things like allow you to control the direction of your drop dash in the open zone, keep momentum when jumping out of boost, ground momentum, a fixed parry, as well as some other things, and it just goes to show how easily fixable and changeable a lot of things are in this game. To me personally, this shows me that Sonic Team did a great job. A game like Sonic Forces doesn't feel fixable by mods. The base of the game is just too meh, whereas Frontiers isn't bad in the slightest and can only go up from mods in my opinion. But outside of cyberspace and the combat, things that I say need some changes will just be overall activities in the open zone being a little too easy and giving you too much time. For example, you do not need 80 seconds to parry a single projectile. You'd have to just not know how the game works at all, be the worst player of all time, or maybe there's some very specific reason why you can't complete that, which is out of your control. But I think all challenges in the open zone should have a tighter time limit, especially if things are on hard mode. It's kind of laughable at times because they're called island challenges and very few presented actual challenges to me or many players. And there are some other changes that I'd make to the game, like story-wise, with the pacing, island-wise, but I feel like those are out of modding control and things we'd have to wait for a sequel for. But all in all, I enjoyed my time with Sonic Frontiers, and there's so much of this game to talk about, and I can't wait to continue making content on the game and whatever else is up next for Sonic. But those were some of the things I personally would like to see changed. What about you? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and the like button, and like always, I'll see you in the next one.
Well, whatever happens, happens.